Bring me back to England, or on the way to England on an ambulance. Instead of that, they flew me back to England because it was that serious. Because them days, it's not like you hear today about MASH. You have a hospital where they take care of you. You didn't have that then. You just bled to death. And they flew me back. I flew back. I guess it was Danny was at a C-47, 2-engine.
C-47.
Yeah. And I could see the wings go like this. I said, what the hell am I doing in this thing?
You didn't remember getting there?
No, I was out, completely out. And then as we went to this hospital, this deportation part, I call it deportation, where they send some to Paris and some to England. And we rode in an ambulance, believe it or not. And they were strafing the hell out of roads up there. And I said, boy, I had come to a little, and I said, boy, this is a heck of a place to be. And they got me there okay, and I got on a plane and flew to England. The place I landed was in Oxford, right outside of London. And I spent 6 months in the hospital there, and then they shipped me home.
Where'd you stay in the hospital in the United
It was
States?
called the 91st General Hospital. It was right outside of Oxford, England.
How about in the United States?
Oh, the United States was another one. I flew, I came back on a boat, a Red Cross boat, you know, they have the Red Cross on them, in a convoy, and we were right in the middle of it, in the convoy. We weren't on the outside, we were right in the middle. And landed in Camp Kilmer, and then from Camp Kilmer, well, I gotta tell you this one. We went to Camp Kilmer, and we landed, and we went to eat, you know, they took us down to eat. And the general, I guess I don't know who the general was, he said, we're gonna give you steak today. But remember this, you're getting steak here, but you're not gonna get steak again. He says, good luck to you all. And we went from there to Fletcher General Hospital in Ohio. And I stayed there from, I think it was June till November sometime. And from there I went to Valley Forge General Hospital here in Pennsylvania and stayed there a good 5 months. And then they shipped me from there to the Kingsbridge General Hospital, VA hospital up in New York State. And I think I don't know, you didn't take me. I think you took me a couple of times.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and from there they didn't discharge me from the VA hospital. They discharged me from the Veterans Hospital up in New York State, up in New York City. And I got discharged, like I said, March 26, 1946. 46, yeah.
It was quite an experience.
Yeah, well, lived through it, I'm still here.
And you, Pop?
Well, we advanced into Germany and went past the Hitler home and hideaway up in the hills, full of snow. We couldn't get up there. But we went to his, we did go to his wine cellar, got some of his wine. At first the French didn't want to give it to us, but we got it anyway. 2, 3 boxes of it. And we back to the battalion, the platoon, and we advanced into Germany through Bavaria, all the way to past the Dachau concentration camp. It had 32,000 prisoners. They were all different nationalities. There's only 2,800 Jewish people in it, of faith. And we continue on to Salzburg, Austria. That's where we lost one man. He was killed outright.
Tell us how that happened.
It happened because they were ordered not to leave the compound. But these 2 men were smart, so they had to go into this house. Well, the German officer hiding upstairs, he comes down the steps and shoots one, kills him. And the other one jumped him. The other men ran up there with the officer, and they stopped him from killing the German, because the war was over. The war was already been over. And we called the MPs and came and got him. And then we got ordered back to the battalion. And that's when they asked us if we wanted to stay, if we had enough points to go home. And I said, no, I don't want to stay. They were going to dismantle the battalion, the motor pool. He actually offered me a master sergeant. I said, you didn't give it to us, to me, or to the other two sergeants when you made us sergeants. And I says, why should I get it and want it now? So I backed off. I said, I'm going home. I had 102 points. So we were transferred to 28th Division, and we came home. We were crossing the sea, and then we heard over the radio that they were going to Africa, to Japan.
Yep.
He even lied to me.
Yep.
But the war was ended, so they didn't go. But I could have been a master, but I didn't go.
So,
And that's about all. But the thing I hated, that I would never want to see again, is the concentration camp, where hundreds of people have been killed. And they were laying there in stacked above one another near the, what did I get it called? Where they washed themselves in the showers, and they had gases there, and they used to gas them. And then they used to, after they're dead, they were stacking them, and they were burning in the 3 ovens right next to it. And one oven was still partially going. The other one had been stopped. But right next to it, they had an underground ammunition plant. That's where they were making all these shells and everything else. Big building. They ordered us not to go down there. But smart aleck me, I had to go downstairs, see what the hell they had. And they had machinery, all types of machinery. And that's what they were doing.
all underground,
All underground.
slave labor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was a stack of people that the train had pulled in before we got there, and they had killed all the civilians. But then when we got our infantry units got there before we did, because we were following, because we were moving so fast, we didn't have to do any work. And they were, that's what they were doing. And then not only that, some of 36, I think 32 prisoners escaped. They went in town, got the 2 commanding officers. They were dressed in civilian clothes over their uniforms, brought them up to camp, and they killed right in front of us. We backed off because they were in a wild statement, wild terror, and they may turn on us. And we backed off, or else they ordered us back off. He said, you can't stop it. He said, you may be kill you trying to mingle in with them. So then we got ordered back to the battalion and came home.
What you guys think of your basic training? Was it realistic, tough?
Yes, it was pretty rough. They taught us. They say the Marine Corps had tough training. We had it. We had tough training. They didn't. We did everything they did, and they claimed they were so great and everything else. But we did everything. We were trained. And we were trained to go, like they are. And we did all right in that training. What did you think? The training?
Training was perfect. It was all right. Everything we got trained pretty well.
You did what you were supposed to do, and you got along fine.
We got trained in how to build bridges at the beginning. Bridges, go across the river on cables, put up a pontoon bridge.
Yep.
Across the river. Then they would a mock plane come over and drop flour bags on a bridge. And when we got run, it took off. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. You just don't sit there. You see a plane coming, you take off. And you drop these flour bags that they gave you. And then we got split up. That's when we made the 2 battalions.
How did you get through all this? Does it affect you now a lot?
We knew we had to do it, and we did it. You were over there, and you knew what you were there for, and we didn't back down on anything. I mean, we were told to do something, and we did it. Of course, I had a lot of training in what I did. I went to school for it. I didn't say that. Fort Sill, Oklahoma. And I learned what I knew. And I was telling Rose the other day, or was it today, I'm not sure, that my officer, who was a first lieutenant, when I was running my section of the outfit, he never came out and told me what to do. Never. never, and I'm talking about 8 months that I was there. And he never told me what to do, because I knew more than he did about what my job was, because I'd gone to school for it. And he wouldn't come out and say, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. I was almost on my own boss. He was a lieutenant, but I was a sergeant, and he just left me alone. Never bothered me, never. I did my job, like I believe Cosmo did. He did his job.
It did his job as best as
We did it.
we could, under the circumstances. We never even thought about getting hit.
No,
I didn't anyway.
I didn't.
If I got hit, I got hit.
But it
It
would
was only
happen.
once we had a retreat. Went across the bridge, and this was in France. And we started seeing civilians coming back. And we had already unloaded the trucks. And they ordered us back. So all the men got on their trucks and went across the bridge. The officer told and left me and the driver. He says that don't get back. If we don't come back to get the rest of the materials and the gasoline, blow it. And get on the Jeep and get the hell across the bridge, because we all blow it. But it never happened. We stopped the advance. And then when the advance was over, we continued our work. Just about the only time we really got scared. But I was in control of it, and I had to do what they ordered me to do. Not only that, before we got there, we were coming down this road. We got through all right. Another guy came with a Jeep, or with a 4x4 command car. He just moved 1.5 foot more than we were going. He had a mine, blew the car upside down, killed him. If we could have been, one of us could have been killed. We just missed it.
We had
The
a
guys
couple.
were detecting a mine, didn't catch it.
We had a couple like that. And I mean, this was a tank that went over, didn't explode. A tank, I'm talking about a tank, a heavy piece of equipment. And this guy, one of my guys, went through there, and for some reason or other, he just hit this mine. And this was a heavy mine. I'm not talking about a little. This was big enough to knock the tracks off a car, off a tank. And he hit this thing, and it blew the Jeep apart, killed him. We actually, in the whole outfit, we only lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. That's all we lost. And it's supposed to be non-combatant outfit, but we weren't supposed to.
But yeah, you were there. You were right there.
Yeah, we were, same thing, we were not combatant.
We
But
were
when they went up
non-combatant.
in those hills, these snipers could have killed any one of us.
Mhm.
Because we were up on those hills, they knew what we were doing. Because we would see their markers up there.
Yep.
A sniper with a gun could have killed every one of them. In Italy, we used to drive, they used to go up there with white clothes. If it was snow, they were dressed in white, so they can detect them that much. And we lost one man at the end of, well, I told you about that. But we had some injuries by landmines. 3 of them pretty serious. They got decorated for it, got their medals. And the other 3 not too bad, so they're all right. But that's the total injuries.
Is that it?
Business.
How about after the war? What were you two guys doing then?
Pardon?
After the war, what did you do in civilian life?
Well, I was still in the Army. I was still in the hospital at the time. And my brother and I and another fellow by the name of Ralph Pastor went into business. And I